Hey, how's it going? Good afternoon, all you millions of fans. This is the Brave Traveler. I'm your host, IR. Today is Sunday, April 13th, and it's currently like 4 p.m. Why am I doing this so late? You might be thinking. Well, you've clearly never heard the show before. Usually I do it at night. Because, I tend to be that type of person that does things last minute. Even though I wasn't. When I was in school, I would get my shit done first, then the stupid stuff later, as it should be. I don't feel all that great right now because I just read this shitty, fucked up, horrible story. I had no idea that there was this black couple that adopted a white little child, a little girl of 3 years of age. And the wife, Ariel Robinson, beat her to death. I'm looking at pictures of this little girl, and she was beautiful, a beautiful child. The husband of Ariel Robinson stated that she would demand that the child eat more. This woman looked like a fucking animal pig. She was obese. Just a hideous fucking thing. And I guess she wanted the child to eat like she did. Except this is a 3-year-old. So it's understandable if she doesn't want to eat the same slop. Or that much of it, at least. The Robinson woman tried blaming it on one of her other adopted kids. Her adopted kids were mainly just black children. This was the only white child. In court, she used the excuse that that the little girl had just very sensitive skin. I guess. Man, there's just not much that can be said here on this one. They gave her life in prison. Her husband is considered an accomplice, I guess, for not ratting the bitch out. So I get it. He got 10 to 20. But she got life. Although, if we can be fucking honest, it's not life without the possibility of parole. Which means that she'll probably get out in 10 years with good behavior. Or maybe not even with good behavior. Just because, the people that will determine if she's ready to go back into society are going to look at her and see a black female. And, how society is today. It's fucked up. It's fucked up because, I don't want my podcast to be about races, but it's about whatever the fuck is going on in the world, It's about a human perspective. I should probably put that in in a blurb somewhere. And that's not the only thing I saw. Granted, I am getting my stories from Leonardo Joni, but, they're true. So it's valid. In fact, right now I'm going to look up one other story that she recently mentioned, which is that an Etrarian man tried to rape a German woman who defended herself. She had a knife and she stabbed him. The guy died, and now the courts are trying to put charges on her for willfully, intentionally trying to cause harm, which I think is really fucked up because, for the longest time, my entire life, basically, society as I know it, as we all know it, has made it very obvious that they feel that women are just more important than men are. And which has created this imbalance, I believe, on purpose, in order to get us to conflict with one another, to have conflict. You know what I mean. But all of a sudden, this story, it's like, what happened to the sacred female? All of you Gnostic bastards with the Sophia lovers and all that shit, and the Baphomet Club who wants to be that so much that they're gonna even force it. What's up with this? This guy, this African immigrant, I guess he's an immigrant. I don't know. He might be an illegal alien for all the fuck I know. He tries to attack her and rape her, and she defends herself, and now she's the one facing charges. So I don't know what the fuck is going on in Europe. Like, to me as an American, that was the dream, to go back to the old country and live like a human being. When I went back in 2017, I saw a beautiful country a beautiful continent. I visited many countries, of a diverse group of people, but they all seemed to have a lot in common. They were happy, they were healthy, they were living life the way it should be lived. There was, you could walk everywhere. You could take the subway, the metro, or whatever you want to call it, the tube, everywhere. It was just amazing. And to think that any job you have, you're going to have, I think it's like 4 weeks paid vacation. Any job. Even if you're just working at a fucking pencil factory, paid vacation. And if you don't use your time off, it accumulates. You don't lose it. That's amazing. If you get sick, it's okay. Just go to the hospital. It's free. It's paid for with your taxes. Amazing. In America, we get taxed up the ass for, fuck you, mind your own business. That's our information we're not going to share with you. Yeah, so for the longest, I just felt like, okay, Europe, that's the goal. And now it seems that things are changing. Like, they want to just flood the continent with people from Africa and the Middle East. And, right off the bat, you might think, well, they're seeking asylum, right? They have problems back home, serious problems, and they're looking for a better life. Right. I understand that. But they're not trying to assimilate. They're trying to take over and not trying to. I mean, there's literally scumbags in positions of power that are, I believe, from, if you put all the pieces together, it really very directly seems that they're trying to take over by bringing in the masses from these other countries, replacing the people that are already there, and changing laws and policies. So they are taking over. Europe is steadily going back to becoming Europa, Arapa, Arabi, Arab. And I don't personally have anything against Arabs. I have Arab family on my mother's side. And when I look at Arabs in person, when I have been over there by like Morocco, or actually there's a lot of Arabs in Paris, France. They just look like family. My mother's side, on my father's side, it's so it's embedded in me. So I don't have anything against Arabs personally, per se. I do have something against wiping out a culture, the peoples of a certain land. I mean, let's say you steadily push out all French people out of France by putting a bunch of people from somewhere else. I guess in 10, 20, 30 years, they will be the new French people. And the original French people will just be something else, somewhere else. Will anyone care or notice the difference in 50 years, 100 years? Is this just what happens to create imbalance? Is this something that has already been happening throughout time? It sucks because if history were true, there's so many things that are happening today in America, in Europe, in other places, that you would think this is a moment where historically people get together and fight back. Refuse to put up with tyranny and fight back. And now it seems that we're all just sort of sheep, actual sheep. Okay, hold on. Let me look up that story about the guy that tried raping the German lady. Okay, I did some research, and about the previous story, Ariel Robinson, she killed this little girl, 3-year-old Victoria Tori Rose Smith, in Selwood Circle in Simpsonville, South Carolina. That makes me never want to ever visit that place. Poor little girl. May those fucking people just burn. I don't know. I wish the worst for scum that hurts children. Moving on to the next story. From what I've found, the woman that was going to be raped, it doesn't say what her name is. It just says U.S. woman. So she's from the U.S. 20 years old. Accidentally stabs Etrurian 64 to death. That makes it sound like she repeatedly did it. During struggle after he groped her at German train station and now faces 10 years in prison. Let's see what else it says. Germany is holding a young American woman hostage and threatening her with 10 years in prison after she stabbed a migrant who sexually assaulted her. Okay, so more details in the story is that there was a camera nearby, and it looks like, the guy groped her, and she pulls out her knife. It doesn't say if she was by herself, but it kind of sounds like it. And the guy backed away when he saw the knife, and she followed him. Although I kind of get it, Like, she didn't want him to just step back. She wanted the guy to completely fuck off. I get it. If she was by herself, and even if she's not, she sees this fucking guy she doesn't know. He's ballsy enough to fucking grope her. What else is he willing to do? So I get it. Pull out your fucking knife so you can defend yourself. I don't know what the fucking moral of this story is. Buy mace. Buy a taser. Anything that will incapacitate your attacker but not kill him, because you could just be facing charges for it. So that's what they're hanging on. She didn't just, take a chance to run because, and I get it. Look, if your potential attacker just backs away a little bit because you pulled out a knife, you don't necessarily feel like you're safe now to turn around and leave. Because if her potential attacker is much bigger than her, and I'm sure that he was, there's that feeling of, okay, as soon as I turn, now I can't see that he's about to grab me. So it's not that easy, You can kind of make it seem like she is a racist. Right. Okay. We're all fucking racist. Okay. If you see somebody and you don't recognize that person because they don't look like you and you didn't grow up around that particular different looking person, yeah, it might be unsettling. I've even seen videos of Africans running shitless, scared shitless, at the sight of a white man because they weren't used to it. So it's perfectly fucking normal to be afraid of someone who's different because you don't know. You don't know until you know. So to act like, oh, that natural instinct you have? Well, ignore it. Otherwise, you're a racist. It's stupid. It's fucking stupid and unnatural. I'm tired of the satanic agenda always pretending like they're good when they're not, and they know it. God, there was this other really great quote from the Bible that talked about that. All right, here's the quote I was looking for. 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 13 to 15. For such are false apostles, deceitful workers, transforming themselves into the apostles of Christ. And no marvel, for Satan himself is transformed into an angel of light. Therefore it is no great thing if his ministers also be transformed as the ministers of righteousness, whose end shall be according to their works. So this is the King James version. Basically what that means is they pretend to be good. They get into high positions of power, like through the church, like we've all seen the fucking Pope himself doing the 3 6s, the okay sign. I mean, come on. It's just... These fuckers aren't hiding anymore. The satanic groups, they're not even pretending to not be satanic. All they're doing is just investing money and time into convincing people that there is no devil. They just think he's really cool. And it's all about attitude and rebellion. So for everyone that doesn't know, I guess they don't see it. But if you know, you see it. And it's these same motherfuckers that have invested so much time and influence in propaganda movies and shows and music into inverting the truth, into getting people to believe in self-sabotage as a means of bettering themselves. Okay, here's the English version. Maybe this one's a little more clear. The English Standard Version. For such men are false apostles, deceitful workmen, disguising themselves as apostles of Christ. And no wonder, for even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So it is no surprise if his servants also disguise themselves as servants of righteousness. Their end will correspond to their deeds. Yeah. Like, they pretty much seem to want to wipe out the human race, and whoever is the most difficult, which I guess are going to be the free thinkers, the people that don't need to be spoon-fed the truth, but they hear enough of it and it resonates within themselves enough that they will go out and dig and find the truth for themselves. The truth is not a point of view. There is an actual truth. You dig enough and everything is going to point in that direction. So I hope whoever hears this will choose to be one of those people that wakes up, stops believing everything on the television because it's a lie. I'm not exactly sure what this woman, this young 20-year-old girl, well, I call her a girl, but I know legally the satanic regime says she's a fucking woman. But I mean, honestly, the brain doesn't fully develop until around age 25 for most human beings. So yeah, she's a fucking girl, you know. This young woman, if you prefer. I wonder what'll happen. I mean, I've already read comments that are saying that, well, she's a woman, so, slap on the wrist. Yeah, I would have normally agreed with that statement, except this man is a black immigrant from Africa. And, the icing on the cake will just be if they fucking release a statement that he was a Muslim as well. And then it's like, oh, that wasn't necessary to slip in there, now was it? Okay, I think is that code for, oh, she's fucked? So, who knows? I'm glad that they didn't put her name out there, because that's like an automatic, oh yeah, we're trying to fuck this bitch up. I don't know. There's so much information that isn't being revealed. That this 64-year-old fucking man, the fuck was he thinking, man? Honestly, he fucked up. In my opinion, she's, I get it. It is fucked up and tragic that it resulted in someone's death. I don't know. I don't know much about the Etrurian culture. Is groping people you don't know that are clearly from a different race and culture normal? Is it, do they tell people in wherever in their country, I don't know, Etria? What's the country called? I don't know. Do they tell them that American women are such whores that groping them is like saying, hey, I like you? I don't know. But if it is, that was not correct. That is not that is not true. No matter what culture, everywhere, anywhere in this world of ours, I don't think there is one woman that is okay with you groping her, unless maybe you're in a very shitty strip club. But even she's expecting you to give her some money. This wasn't a strip club. Or a bordello or whatever. And even in those places, you try touching them before you pay any money. You might regret it. Was he on drugs? That's a possibility. Was he drunk? That's a possibility. Was he suffering from dementia or something else that might affect older people? Whatever the case, it's fucked up. It would have been great if the guy hadn't have done that. If the guy maybe had apologized and backed up more than a step, because, she's pulling out a knife, threatening to kill you. It's not because she's playing hard to get, right? So, I don't know. So apparently the guy steps back, she moves forward. The old man doesn't like this position of this power shift, right? It's like he loved the whole fucking scenario of him grabbing some ass or some tits or whatever and getting away with it. You know, that's what he signed up for. Then when the tables were turned and she pulls out the knife and he backs up, I don't know, I'm assuming a step. But, you know, maybe he backed up more than a step. Let's hope that's what it was. And she moved forward a step or more. At some point, he didn't like that. And he reaches for the fucking knife. Like, he goes and tries to grab her arm, the one holding the knife. And right there, she says, you know, she tried to stab him, but it accidentally stabbed him in the heart. I don't know how you accidentally stab someone in the fucking heart. Damn. Yeah. Fuck. All I can say is that in moments like that, when you're that afraid, adrenaline is pumping through your fucking body. You can't really think right. You can't think much at all except, you know, fight or flight. And like I said, her flight wasn't activating because she probably felt like she was going to be killed. If she turned around to run away, the guy could have snatched her. Maybe he couldn't, but that was what she was feeling. Anyways, no matter how you look at it, it's fucked up, it's tragic, and I honestly do recommend people just fucking getting mace. You know, that fucking pepper spray? Yeah, because that'll burn like shit. I don't know. I guess that could kill somebody also if they can't breathe. But out of everything, that one seems to be the least likely to end in someone's death. Least likely. Don't spray a fucking child, please. But I mean, like an adult who's just groped your ass or whatever. Yeah. Spray him right in the fucking face. And, you know, hopefully he doesn't die. But that's the one I think is less likely to cause death. So don't pull out a gun, to pull out a knife. A taser, tasers can be pretty fucking dangerous because what if that person falls and, you know, dies from the hit? So, I mean, if you mace somebody in the face, they're not going to automatically fall head first into the ground. You know, they still have control of their bodies, so they might go down to their knees, and that's it. Might hurt like shit, but they're not going to automatically die, I think. I would assume they're just going to need somebody to pour some water on them, and that's it. Or it will hurt like shit because nobody will help them until the cops arrive. But I don't know. I've never been maced, so but I have smelled it, and it's a powerful fucking thing. So could somebody asphyxiate on that shit? Maybe. I don't know. But still, as a quick form of defense from an attacker, I'm going to say that one's the least likely to kill someone. So that's why I'll recommend that one. Oh, and this other story. I think this was actually the first story I heard in Leonardo Joni's video. She's making some great videos, but I kind of wish she would make more of them. But you can tell that she actually puts a lot of thought and effort into it. I wonder if she has help. 17-year-old Austin Metcalf was fatally stabbed in Dallas, Texas recently. I think this month, I think. He was a linebacker with a 4.0 GPA. I mean, the guy had a good future. And he was there with, I think, his twin brother, who actually, Austin died in his brother's arms. This black kid was sitting, I guess, in his seat, and he asked him to move. And when he wouldn't, and he just started, getting belligerent, it didn't scare away Austin. And I think Leonardo had a great point, especially after hearing what Austin's Metcalf's father had to say to the media, which is that he forgives the scumbag piece of shit that murdered his son. It's a tragedy. We've lost 2 people. Well, not necessarily, sir. I mean, so the little piece of shit animal that doesn't belong in society, his name is Anthony Carmelo, who apparently comes from an amazing family of religious people. I wonder if it's voodoo or Satanism, because this isn't the type of behavior that you would expect from someone that comes from a good family. I've seen some of his pictures that he uploaded of himself with the middle finger up in a fucking cemetery, laughing. Or excuse me, it's a picture, so he's fucking smiling like it's funny. What kind of a piece of shit is this stupid piece of garbage that takes a knife to a fucking school game? Anyways, the answer to that doesn't actually matter, because his family has already put up I don't know if it's a GoFundMe, a Give, Send, Go support fund. Give, Send, Go. Is that supposed to be like GoFundMe, but for scum? If you're a scumbag, but you can't pay the consequences, just start up a Give, Send, Go support fund account, right? Anyways, Anthony Carmelo has raised more than $275,000 as of Wednesday. Yeah. So, this little scummy fucking piece of shit that belongs outside of society, I mean, with animals, clearly, if you're going to be killing upright citizens that would have provided a better future, why? For you? Are you a coward? Is that why you brought your fucking knife? Touch me and see what happens. Piece of shit. So you won't listen to reason, but you want an excuse to act out violence. Murder, actually. I don't know what this scum thought was going to happen when he stabs somebody in the chest. I don't think it was fear, because I don't think certain racial groups are afraid when everything on television is telling them how amazing they are. I love reading the comments on Leonardo Joni's video, because some of them, a good amount of them, were from black people saying everything you said is true. Please watch her video. Let me see what it's even called. Okay, her video is called White Supremacy Killed Austin Metcalf. You can find her stuff at Leonarda is Funny, all one word. I kind of agree. I mean, I think she's being blatantly controversial with her statement, but there's truth in it. You shouldn't treat different people as though they've had the same life experience as you have, or as though they were raised in exactly the same manner as you have. You don't know. You don't know until you fuck around and find out. And I mean, this kid, why did he have a knife? What was he really raised like? He thinks death is funny, and he proved it. He was willing to murder someone over a fucking seat that wasn't even his. And what is whoever the fuck is actually funding this asshole? What are they trying to achieve? Do they want Anthony Carmelo to be freed? Is that I mean, clearly whoever's funding that wants exactly that. That's a shitload of money. That's a shitload of money. It was over $40,000 8 days ago when Leonarda Joni put out her video. Or maybe it took her a few days to actually make the video, even if she put it out 8 days ago. So, but still, that's pretty fucking fast. It's insane. There's someone else whose videos I really enjoy that kind of connect to this. Taylor Alesia. She calls herself the Bible Chick with Taylor Alesia. Anyways, she makes awesome videos. They're getting better and better now. I think maybe because at first it was just her talking, and now she actually like gives us stuff to look at. One of her last 8 videos was called You Won't Believe How Many Rappers Practice Witchcraft. Yeah, and even Candace Owens has stated that a lot of the rappers are actually in the Satanic Baphomet cult. Like, they're actually gay and satanic. Like, it's just insane. So I'm pretty sure whoever has that much money to be funding this little scumbag murderer is not it's not part of the good guys. That's for sure. Because this wouldn't make sense any other way. Who has that much money to just be funding a little piece of shit murderer? What he did is unforgivable. I mean, it's kind of hard not to say that this little piece of shit deserves exactly the same. But, and that's because I don't really want anyone's death on me. So I would be more in favor of life in prison, because he took a life and he owes one. And in prison, it would be nice if prisons were different, if prisons didn't mean you just get separated from society and that's it. It would be great if they could still be contributing members of society as part of their reparation. It'd be nice to think that there's also rehabilitation going on. But that's not the way prison is. Prison is just a separation of society, but it's pretty much criminal school. You go to prison, get locked up with horrible animals, and if you have an out date or you know you'll get out one day, you don't come out better. You come out worse. So, prison seems to be 100% a bullshit scam that people that don't go to prison have no idea is going on. But it would be nice if more people pushed for rehabilitation of all convicts. Even if they have to stay in prison, they can still contribute. They should. I mean, you leave them locked up and they're just gonna become horrible monsters. You should give them a purpose, And I do think that the punishment should fit the crime. It's fucked up when stupid petty shit gets a horrible punishment and horrible crimes get petty punishments. I mean, this shit is completely upside down. I think until we can all just agree to our differences and come together and fight the bad guys, not ourselves. Don't emulate or celebrate the bad guys. That's what they want. Okay, and just not to be referred to as racist, I looked up similar situations. I wanted to see if there were any white people that adopted and killed a black child. And I actually found something. It was a Jewish lesbian couple, and Jewish people qualify as white. They're the only group of people that their religion is also their ethnicity, and therefore, since they're considered ethnic, they can be lumped in as a minority while also being able to take the title of white. So think again when you're wondering exactly who they're referring to when they say white people. When they say that white people predominantly have a position of power in this country. Think about which white people they're referring to. Okay? So don't just go stigmatize random Caucasians when they're not the fucking white people. They're usually associating with the bad guys. And I've heard a lot of Jewish people talk about this matter, and they admit to it, that they can be categorized in either one, either or. and they benefit from it. While the other people that can be considered white because they're Caucasian will not benefit from it, because white is a blanket statement that can cover just anyone that's Caucasian, myself included. I'm Mexican, but I don't have that written on me. If you just look at my features, you'll say, well, that appears Caucasian, right? Fair skin, colored eyes, blue. So it affects me as well, And these two ladies, Jennifer Hart and Sarah Hart, adopted 6 black kids, it seems. I think one of them was a Mexican. And drove off a fucking cliff in California. And pieces of the kids were found in time. So these witches planned it. It was a murder-suicide. They found their last few Google searches, and it was all about suicide and how much of this drug do I have to take, how long until hypothermia kills you when you're drowning. I mean, just really fucked up stuff. I look at these people and their pictures and when they're smiling, and these women seem to have dead eyes. Like, if you've ever seen that bullshit commercial on Amazon Fire Stick where Mr. Beast is smiling, but his eyes aren't smiling, it's the same thing. These pictures reveal a lot through the eyes. They just seem like they must have been part of the satanic cult shit, and they wanted to help out the agenda or some shit. I don't know. I don't even know that these scum, trash, demonic people are actually dead. It would have been awesome to hear that both of these whores actually survived for a few minutes until sharks started to tear them to pieces while they screamed for help. And then a boat ran them over. That would be nice. Here's what really pisses me off about this. Apparently they had child protective services, or idiots as I believe they should be called, some time before this shit happened. And they sent a cop out, and there's even a fucking picture of one of the kids crying and hugging a cop because one of these whores, the bitch that was driving was Jennifer Hart. I have no idea what this bitch used to do for a living. I found some stuff from the Jewish Federation in Orange County, which I think is her, because she was, I think she was in Washington. That's where she lived. But in Laguna Woods, California, sometime 2 years ago, she was, it says here, from the Jewish Federation in Orange County. Multi-talented Jennifer Hart has been capturing hearts in Southern California since she settled here in 1990 after a decade of performing in jazz clubs, festivals, and concerts throughout the United States and Europe. Okay, bitch. So, this piece of shit, whore, garbage person, scumbag, well, she was in the entertainment business. Music. With a hideous bitch face like hers, I would say she was a singer. Here's the strange thing, honestly. Fuck, man. Why did she adopt that many black kids? It honestly seems fucking planned. And it doesn't feel like just like the other one. This one doesn't feel like they're paying much attention to it. Is it because they're the lesbian couples and you're not supposed to say anything against the LGBTQ Baphomet Club? Is it because they're Jewish ladies and of course you actually have to dig for that bit of information. Otherwise it's just, white women. Of course. Everything to serve the agenda, right? It's very upsetting. These children, they look so innocent. And so I hate these bitches. I hate these people. I hate anybody that would fucking hurt children. That would abuse these young innocent people. So somebody else, one of their whore witch friends, and I hope you all bad people, you get what you deserve very soon. I don't care if you fucking serve the satanic god of this world and not a higher one. You people shouldn't exist because you're parasites. You prey on others. On others weaker than you. Fucking trash. Anyways, as far as, trying to balance out and look for other stories, because all these stories involved black people, and that's not by, it wasn't planned that way. So that's why I tried to look for the same type of story, but, racially the other way around. And I couldn't find a story of a white man accosting or trying to rape or grope a young black woman. Which, it's not that it's impossible, it's just that, yeah, I kind of get it. No, man, I mean, it's just stupid. It's just stupid. And I don't think we live in that world where shit like that happens. I think for a black young woman to get groped by a 64-year-old white man, these are very special circumstances. the black woman somehow partied a little too hard and went into the wrong house. the the black lady, her car broke down and she went to a nearby bar all by herself, and it's just old drunk men, and one of them, makes a pass, I guess. Yeah, there's not that many. There's not that many scenarios where I see this happening, and according to Google, it's not there. I mean, I guess I could dig, and I'm sure there's something a while ago, but I wonder how far back we would have to go for that, or how far would the story not parallel, the Germany one anymore. But anyways, I didn't find anything. The closest thing might be something from 100 years ago, where as it says in history books, black people were very oppressed, and white people were horrible or something. At least that's what they teach in school. So I don't know. I wasn't there, and I know that the people in charge of programming, I mean education, they fucking lie. So I don't really know. But as for right now, in my experience with these people, the whites, or the people that are considered the whites, even though really there should be a separation. They should be the Caucasians. That's me. I'm not going to consider myself white. Even though I know that when most people that aren't white say white, they mean people that look like me. And they don't know that they really should be talking about that other group that is also considered white. And last but not least, again, I could not find a fucking story of a white teenager killing a black teenager in high school. Closest thing that Google was showing me is police that have killed black teenagers. And I think I saw a glimpse of one story, which I didn't even bother looking at because it's not the same. A white 80-year-old some man kills a black teenager that broke into his home. Okay. Well, that's kind of similar to the whole, the white woman was, she was groped. She was afraid. She ended up killing the Etrurian man. And shit, now we're going to have to put charges on her ass. So, same thing, How dare you, white old man, Caucasian old man? Can't you see he was just a child breaking into your home at night? I mean, sure, maybe he could have killed you, but we'll never know. Now, will we? So, moral of the story is, fuck you. Don't break into people's fucking houses, please. Thank you. Don't touch anyone else's body, man or woman, Unless you're invited to. Don't do it, you scumbag. It's not okay. How do you not fucking know that by now? Oh, boy. Well, I think that's all I have for to you today for my racist show. Thanks, Leonardo Joni. Yes, the world is racist. And that's okay. I think as long as you don't have hate in your heart, it's fine to recognize that we're different. For frig's sake. Even Muhammad Ali, he had this great conversation with this Jewish talk show host, and he was defending his opinion that it's not wrong to want to be with your own kind. It's not wrong to want to have children that look like you. And he pointed out as an amazing example, the bluebirds want to be with the bluebirds. The redbirds want to be with the redbirds, And it was just brilliant because it's so true. And he said, I don't believe that God made a mistake in making me the way I am. So why would I want to be with someone else that isn't, in the same group? And it just makes perfect sense. If colors are frequencies of light and energy, and machines wirelessly speak to each other because they're on the same frequency, I think it can be comparable to human beings. We just understand each other sometimes in an unspoken manner because we have the same frequency. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just the Satanists, the liars, the Baphomet Club. They're the ones that try to invert reality and the truth to get us all to hate each other, to get us all in line with self-sabotage. I don't know. Let's all just keep our eyes and ears and heart open. Let's not fall for the sugar-coated lies, because that's all they are. And we can see that they're not headed towards anything good. They've had it their way, and we've seen how that goes. Let's not follow along just to get along, because it's not working. All right, that's all I have for today. I think I'll do some more episodes this week. It's a good way to clear my mind, clear my head. All right, take care. And may the good God, the good high leader, Lord, King, whatever he may be, I hope he knows I'm talking about the good guys, protect you and bless you. Good night.